I'm Sean Roach of Yukuri Software. We've built an application called WorkStyle that allows you to access, organize, and leverage all of the information that exists within your enterprise, regardless of what system it was originally created in or what system it resides in today.
Okay, and so when you say you allow people to leverage the information inside the organization, are you talking about salespeople, operations people? What kind of people in the organization are you targeting?
Initially, we're targeting the sales sides of organizations, both the individual account executives as well as sales managers and the sales executives. But we believe the concept of being able to maximize the value of the information is leverageable across the entire enterprise.
Okay, so give me an example of that, for instance.
So if I'm a salesperson and I have a new account that I need to pursue, it's very, very important for me to understand, A, what activity has the company had with that customer in the past, who are individuals in the organization that have an expertise or a set of connections that would be of value to me in pursuing that account, as well as what is happening outside in the marketplace that might impact both my company as well as the company I'm trying to pursue. Once that company is landed and becomes a customer, our marketing department now needs to know what our track record was with that customer as they continue to go forward and use them in marketing campaigns, upsell campaigns, etc. And then my finance department needs to know what is the history of activity with that customer, what was the sales process, what's the contract look like, what's historical billing. As the relationship with that customer grows and changes over time, we have all that information regardless of what my individual need for that information is.
Excellent. So what kinds of companies are you looking to target for this product?
We're looking for small, medium business customers, customers with more than 10 salespeople, less than 150, who have enough infrastructure and enough history that they've created information that's not readily available by turning to the person next to you or you personally remembering what the organization did 4, 5, 6 years ago, but also they aren't big enough that they're going to put a big portal implementation in place. They're not going to spend millions and millions of dollars on software and consultants to build an in-house solution.
And is that a subscription model for the product?
Exactly. It's sold on a per user per month subscription basis.
Excellent. Okay. And talk a little about the types of systems you integrate. I mean, do you integrate social networks? Do you integrate CRM systems? What exactly do you integrate?
We currently have 140 different integration points today, as well as the ability to build custom integrations based on a customer's individual needs. So we integrate with systems like Salesforce.com, Sugar CRM, Basecamp, HighRise, Google, both Google Talk, Google Mail, Google Docs. We have some integrations with Microsoft, and a couple of different marketing services like MailChimp and others. So, and then within each of those applications, we have multiple integration points so that you can look at the data within those systems or the information in those systems simultaneously without having to keep jumping back and forth between them.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a minute and talk about the entrepreneur community in Austin. And I understand you also spent a little bit of time in Dallas. Talk a little about what it's like to start a company in Texas and what you like about it, what you don't like about it.
I have to say I'm not a native of Austin, but this is a fantastic place to start a company. There's an energy, there's an enthusiasm around it. It's not at all unusual to go somewhere for a meeting and there are a whole bunch of other similar meetings happening in the same place, so you can kind of grow and thrive off that. As well as there are a lot of experienced entrepreneurs who are very, very open about spending time with you, sharing what they've learned. You can reach out to somebody through an email and they'll respond right away, take a meeting with you, and usually you'll leave that meeting with someone else to go meet with. So it's been a great city in which to kind of take a shot at this and learn what the process is like and have people you can go to, either as an advisor or a mentor or just to get a question answered.
Yeah, it's funny. Just about every entrepreneur I talk to has the same experience, or has had the same experience. So
it's interesting. I lived in Washington, D.C. before I moved here. And in D.C., if you talked about starting a company, you'd get sort of a strange glance from people. Whereas if you said you were going to run for office, everybody would just assume, oh yeah, hey, that's great, that makes perfect sense. Here in Austin, it's probably the inverse. If you said you're going to run for office, people look at you kind of funny when you talk about starting a company and you're right in the mainstream of what's kind of become the lifeblood here.
Right. So let's fast forward a year in advance. Where do you want to be with your business?
Really in a year where we would like to be is clearly several revisions of the product forward. Really like to have those revisions based on a committed and growing user base, where we're not just taking kind of our concepts of what the product should be or what the problem is out in the marketplace, but now we've taken our core solution and are building on it based on the feedback from the user community about this is what they're using the product for in the real world, this is what they would like to have, this is what's going to make the product more valuable to them in the future. Don't have a number in terms of, in a year from now we want to have 20 customers, 30 customers, but really the important thing is having that user base growing and vibrant and having that back and forth, so we're building for them, not building for ourselves.
Okay, and I guess one other question I have for you before we wrap up, but so what keeps you up at night? What are the biggest challenges that you have for the business right now?
Wow, what keeps me up at night? I think everybody who's starting a company or in the early stages will tell you that there's all kinds of stuff. But the biggest piece that keeps me up at night is getting the adoption in the marketplace, getting the validation and generating paying users so that we become self-sustainable, and can do the things that we think the product needs to be able to do, and be able to kind of just keep growing that is the biggest thing. How do you get people to spend money when not everybody's doing real well?
Yeah. Okay, anything you've left out or anything we haven't covered that you'd like to tell people about your company?
Well, I think one of the things that we're really focused on is that we need to bring value to the customer. And so our central tenet is that the tools people have to work with haven't made it to the 21st century. So we as a company are focused on building those tools. We want to be very sure that we're a company, not a product. So we have our first product. We think that can provide a lot of value and be a very quick hitter, but we're already starting to think about what are the other things that we can do to really help people work smarter and be more efficient going forward.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your time, Sean. We appreciate it.
Thank you.